February was the first month I hit the 10K mark with my business. And the joyful irony is that it actually happens 1 year after I took the decision to get over my depression, get over my chronic fatigue, and start my business. So in this video, I want to explain exactly what I have done, exactly what has happened for me to get to depressed and basically life has no point to I'm having the time of my life and I made 10K months. So exactly 1 year ago, I thought life had no purpose. I didn't understand why I was here. I thought that the world was a bad place. It was a place of suffering, that the point of actually experiencing life was to experience pain. I was exhausted all the time. I had panic attacks every other week, and I couldn't even eat anything. Like, I was intolerant to gluten, I was intolerant to lactose. I didn't sleep well, I had chronic pain in my shoulders, I had chronic pain in my bladder as well. So I had all these things that were showing me that life was a really, really annoying thing to actually experience. But even though I believed that the point of life was to actually learn through suffering, I still believed that there was a way, there was a key to understand to actually living a happy life, because I could see around me, and my boyfriend was an example of it, that actually some people were really enjoying being alive. So I was searching and I was open for new solutions to actually better my life. And when you are open, you receive. I actually was lucky enough to have a friend who had taken a coaching who helped her get over chronic fatigue. This friend almost didn't tell me about what she had experienced because she was afraid that I would think she was too hippie. And that's something that I just want to put here. You don't realize all the things that you know that could help other people. And by not sharing these things because you're afraid of what other people think, you are actually depriving other people from changing their lives or bettering their lives because you know something that they don't. And I'm so glad that this friend talked to me about that. Like, it was in the bus and I was telling her how unhappy I was. And I'm so glad she told me about that, because it literally changed my life. And if she hadn't told me, I wouldn't be here talking to you, being happy and making a lot of money. So share the things that you feel like you should, that are part of your life, because they can really benefit other people. And so what I learned through this friend is something that I've been telling you already about, is the principle of neuroplasticity. The fact that we have the power to rewire the connections, the neuronal connections in our brain. So these connections are created as a result of our life experiences, and they can be changed because they were created in a certain way, and they can be changed basically doing the same thing. And so that is the first thing that actually changed my life. I realized that I had a power over my mind. I realized that I had a power over my emotions, and that I had the power to actually change these connections to get to different thoughts and different emotions. And to give you the gist of it, the point of our minds and our subconscious minds is to protect us from death, because it hasn't really evolved since we were fighting lions in caves. And so what it does, it's that its main focus is to avoid pain, it's to avoid negative emotions. And so when something happens in your life that creates a negative emotion, any type of negative emotion, so fear, guilt, shame, all these kind of things, when there's a situation that happens that creates this emotion, your mind goes like, stop, this is death. This is something that should be avoided. So any type of emotion from now on that actually generates pain, that has generated pain in the past, is something that your mind puts so much effort into avoiding. So if you think about it, what are the random things that actually brought you pain when you were a kid? So I talk a lot about money, for example. But if we see that, money was not coming a lot in the family, and our parents were arguing a lot over it. We couldn't get gifts. It was hard to actually, we were the poor one. Then what this creates here is that the idea of money, the circumstance of money, is actually connected to a negative emotion. So your brain, good little soldier, goes like, oh, this is a circumstance that brings a negative emotion, aka death. I must therefore avoid it. And that, on a neuronal plan, actually creates a connection. It creates a neuronal connection. And so that's why this becomes your go-to thought. And there is another guy in your brain, which is called the reticular activating system. And what this guy does is that its point is to prevent your brain from, protect your brain from information overload. So what it does is that it filters all the time what is actually relevant. So until now, for example, you were not thinking about your right foot. And now I tell you right foot, you go think about it. Or it's like if I ask you to go outside and count all the red cars and you come back and I ask you how many blue cars did you see? You're not going to be able to answer. And that's the job of our reticular activating system. And to protect us, what our reticular activating system does is that it filters the proof that your beliefs, which are created, so the belief is money is not good, it filters the proof that the belief is right. So you stay safe, so you stay away from money. So do you see where that gets us? So then you are basically stuck into what you see is reality. And so that is exactly what happened with me. I would only get proofs that the world was a bad place, that there was war, that money was the cause, was the root of all evil, that there was only plastic everywhere and nothing done about it, and that my body was weaker than every other body. And what I learned is to actually reprogram my brain, reprogram this reticular activating system, and transform my beliefs, transform the information that was coming to my mind to actually transform how I was feeling. And so you might be wondering, okay, but how did you get rid of the pain in the bladder? How did you start eating gluten again? How did you start eating dairy, even though I don't eat dairy anymore, again without dying in your stomach? It is actually the placebo effect. You might have heard of the placebo effect. I'm not going to talk too much about it in this video, but basically what you believe, once again, it's your beliefs, is going to happen, you feel. So there are so many experiences that have been done that show the connection between the mind and the body. So what your mind believes, your body feels. So because I believed that I was intolerant to gluten, I kept on getting the proof that I was intolerant to gluten, even though the reason why I wasn't digesting well, I was feeling weak and everything, were actually exterior circumstances. It was not related to gluten, because now I eat gluten and I'm perfectly fine. So if you want to know more about this specifically, so if you're suffering from depression or chronic fatigue, I recommend this book from Phil Parker, which is a book that is going to explain to you basically what is happening in your mind and the connection between your mind and your body. So it is only one part of what I want to tell you today. So I'm going to leave a link to that book below if you want to check it out, because I'm sharing it with you because I know that maybe it's going to transform your life. So there you go. Take a look at that book. And so this experience of actually completely rewiring my brain, completely actually transforming how I felt in my body, made me realize how and to what extent I am not my mind. I am not my thoughts. I understood that my thoughts come from the beliefs that I have. And I understood that the beliefs that I have were created somehow by some exterior circumstances in the past, but they are not the truth. And the reason why I have been seeing them as the truth up till now is because my reticular activating system was doing a great job. And so from the moment you actually realize that, you understand that you can change your beliefs, you can choose your beliefs. And as soon as you change your beliefs, you are going to transform your life. It is your beliefs that create your thoughts, that create your actions, that create your results. So as soon as you go change the belief, you're able to get a different result. So it is because I have understood that I have been able to leave my job, to start as an illustrator when, I didn't have any money saved up, to change to coaching, to get coaching clients, to help my clients, to believe that I could help more people and then help more people. And that's how I have reached a point where in a year I'm now making 10K months. So that's maybe the moment where you can be wondering, yeah, okay, Ariane, but you still learned how to use social media and everything. Like, it didn't happen just because you changed your beliefs. No, it didn't. But I think, and I would be actually lying to you if I said that my social media strategy was more important than my beliefs, because it is completely the other way around. I have not changed anything to my social media strategy since I started. Really, I've just been talking with more, I've just been feeling actually more comfortable because I have changed my beliefs. So yes, you need to have some basic knowledge about social media strategy, etc. But what is the most important is that you work on your beliefs. And that is exactly what I am going to show you how to do in the 2-day workshop that I'm organizing on the 15th and 16th of March. So I'm really going to coach you live, and I'm going to give you the exact knowledge, the exact step by step, so you can create a social media strategy, a simple social media strategy. You don't need to be a techie or anything to put in place this social media strategy, and to create the beliefs that will enable you to get clients. And it's not only if you're a coach, it's if you have any type of service that you want to promote on social media, it will work, because at the end of the day, selling is an act of love from human to human. So I'm leaving a link below if you want to register for this 2-day workshop. It's going to be live on Zoom. It's going to be amazing, and I'm really going to share the technique that I use with my clients to help them shift their beliefs. So I think it's going to be really, really powerful, and I would love to have you join. And so finally, the reason why it went so fast for me to transform my life is because time is just an illusion of our incarnated life. The mind does not think in terms of present, past, and future. The mind is always in the present. So as soon as you are giving it a new belief to believe, it is going to take it. It's not going to go like, oh wait, but the past 20 years we've been thinking otherwise, that's not okay. It's just going to take it for granted. So that's how change can really happen so fast when you take action, when you really take the decision to work on your beliefs, to work on identifying your thoughts, your results, to see what are the beliefs that support these thoughts, these actions, and these results, and go change them. And it doesn't have to take long. I have one of my clients, we started working together a month ago. She is at 7,000 euros. Like, we just started working together because we have made these switches about her worth, about her relationship to money, about what people are expecting of her, some shifts also about sales. And these mental shifts, she didn't even post anything like that. We were just working on the beliefs. Only with that work, she generated more than 7,000 euros. And I really want to remind you how limitless you are. You can change every single one of your beliefs. You can change every single one of your results by changing your beliefs. And honestly, the amount of freedom that brings you, and the amount of confidence that brings you to have the capability to change how you feel because you change what you believe, is, I think, one of the greatest gifts in life. Honestly. So you can do anything. And if today you have a dream, you can get that dream. You can be who you want to be. You just have to create the beliefs that support the results that you will create. You just create the beliefs that you can do it, that you're able to do it, because you are. Everyone is able to do what they want to do. We just believe that we are not. Therefore, we limit ourselves and we play small. But that's the worst thing we can do, because when we do that, life tends to be a bit more boring. Whereas, trust me, when you go for your dreams, the act of living and the act of being alive is just the best thing that can happen to you. So that was deep talk today, but I hope it inspired you, and I hope it made you feel like, oh my God, I can get the life of my dreams, because you can. So I wish you a wonderful week, and I hope I will see you at the workshop. And I will also see you next week here on YouTube. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.